cruise news time. And well, we got a couple from Central Florida, the Villages. It's not a loofah story. Calm yourself down. A couple from the Villages, they canceled their cruise for safety reasons. And you know what? It cost them $7,000. This could happen to each one of us. We also have a couple brand new cruise ships being floated out. Carnival has done some good work, and we now know where the next world's largest cruise ship is going to be homeported. It's shocking, actually. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views. It's for your face. It's like a vitamin for your face. Welcome to December the 1st. It's Friday. I think yesterday I said it was Friday, or I don't know. But yeah, December the 1st, 2023. And well, we're right in the swing of all of the end of the year activities, including the holidays and well, I'm just 2 sleeps away from cruise day, baby. I'm so excited. My bags are packed. I'm ready to go. But we do have some cruise news. Let me start with an update to the story of the Quantum of the Seas that was oversold in Brisbane, Australia. That's the first update. I incorrectly said Melbourne yesterday talking about that story. Quick recap. I think over 10 people showed up at the cruise port in Brisbane to get on the Quantum of the Seas, only to be handed a letter from Royal Caribbean saying, hey, sorry, we oversold the cruise and there's no room at the end for you. We don't have a cabin for you. And well, here's 4 options. And honestly, considering the circumstance, the 4 options kind of sucked. And so there was some pushback, and now Royal Caribbean has changed the compensation for the people that were a part of the overbooking debacle, and it's a better situation. So anybody that was overbooked on Quantum of the Seas, they now got a 100% refund of their cruise fare, and they're also getting a 100% future cruise credit. I don't know if they're doing anything for people's travel expenses. You know, people could have come from other parts of Australia. People could have come from outside of Australia. People could have lived in Brisbane. They still may have had to take an Uber to the thing. So hopefully Royal Caribbean is making everybody whole there, and hopefully they're working on their overbooking process so that it doesn't happen again. Like I said, you know, they should have the technology, like, you know, it seems like a simple inventory thing. When you have 100 things and then 100 things sell, don't sell 101 things. I don't know. I'm no genius, as it were. Update. I'm sorry, guys. It's a mix of coffee and pre-cruise excitement. All right. Focus T. Let's talk about the couple from Central Florida that kind of got themselves in a jam because they wanted to cancel their cruise because they did not feel safe. Couple over at the Villages. They love to travel. They decided they wanted to book an exotic, go to the Mediterranean cruise that included spots like Egypt and Israel. And then, as we all know, that part of the world went a little haywire, and cruise companies scrambled to drop their Israeli stops and to make changes. And a lot of cruisers have been caught up in this cycle. And Norwegian Cruise Line, for example, they were the ones providing the cruise to this couple over at the Villages. They altered the itinerary of this couple sailing several times, getting rid of Israel, adding and taking away things. And through the rigmarole, the couple finally said, look, I think we would feel the most safe if we did not take this cruise. They get on the horn with Norwegian Cruise Line and they say, I think we just want to cancel. Can we do that? And they're like, yeah, man, you can cancel. There's no big deal. And they're like, all right, I'd like to cancel. Let's do that. And then when can I expect my money back? And they're like, money back? Crazy. Look, you decided to cancel. We didn't cancel you. And if you read your cruise contract and looked at our policies, well, you don't get any money back, baby. And the guy was like, really? I don't get any money back? So, you know, they push him back and forth with Norwegian Cruise Line, reached out to an advocacy group. The advocacy group reached out to Norwegian Cruise Line and said, hey, shouldn't these people get their money back? And Norwegian said, no, They shouldn't get their money back. And they found out one of the reasons that people didn't get their money back is because, well, they didn't have cruise insurance. And interestingly, cruise insurance isn't going to, if you have cruise insurance that was purchased through Norwegian Cruise Line, then technically the money would flow back through Norwegian Cruise Line. But if you had third-party insurance, then that money wouldn't necessarily be coming back from Norwegian Cruise Line. So it opens up an interesting conversation about cruise insurance. I'm not an insurance expert. I'm not giving expert advice here. I'm just giving my opinion. But from what I know about travel insurance is at the moment that you book your cruise and you pay for it the first time, there's a window, usually 2 weeks, where you can purchase a rider for your insurance, a type of insurance called cancel for any reason. And so if you want a circumstance where it doesn't matter what the cruise line's policies are, and you want to make sure that you get all of your money back, if you want to be able to cancel for any reason, then you have to purchase the cancel for any reason policy. And the challenge with that is that's probably the most expensive policy there is out there. And a lot of people don't purchase that. And certainly this couple in the Villages, they didn't have that type of insurance. And so, yeah, Norwegian Cruise Line said, this is the contract you signed. These are our policies. And your reason for cancellation does not entitle you to money back. And well, that's tough love, right? So, spoiler alert. now it's part of my everyday. We'll talk more about spoiler alert. These cruise companies are not charitable, organizations, even though we're going to talk about some charity in a little bit. They're not charitable organizations. They have their contracts written in a way so that people can't just cancel and get their money back. You have to meet some criteria. And then as consumers, the best way to combat those policies is to buy insurance that says that we can cancel at any time. And if you don't do that, well, you're going to be out the money. So this turns out to be a cautionary tale. If you want the opportunity and the ability to cancel on a whim because you don't feel safe or because you don't like the itinerary or because you don't like the itinerary change, you have to buy that cancel at any time insurance, and you have to do that pretty much as you've booked your cruise. I don't know. A good result would be if, because of the story that maybe, Norwegian Cruise Line, not my story, but just, the fact that this story is being talked about, because of that, if Norwegian would do a solid and give these people some future cruise credit, they would be happy with that. But then again, what's the point of having their policy if they make exceptions all of the time? I don't know what the right answer is, but it's up to us as consumers to protect ourselves in the best way possible. And again, I'll say it one more time. If you want the ability to cancel at any time, you have to purchase cancel at any time insurance. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think NCL and every other cruise line should, just give money back when people change their mind, or if a weird circumstance like the turmoil goes on? I think maybe the best rule of thumb is if you're going somewhere where there's the possibility of turmoil, which honestly is everywhere, maybe you should up your insurance. But that's costly. Who knows? Can we all do that with our travel budget? I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the next cruise news story. Cruise news story 2 and 3 related. I'm going to hit them fast. Mein Schiff 7 was floated out at Meyer Turku, the shipyard in Finland. This is the last ship in the Mein Schiff numbered ship class, so like 1 through 7, and that's exciting. I like these float outs. And then the second float out story is that the Viking Vela, the next Viking Ocean cruise ship, has been floated out, not by Meyer Turku, not in Finland, but it's been floated out by Fincantieri. Fincantieri, I don't know why I did that accent. I'm assuming it's an Italian thing. Fincantieri in Italy, they floated out this Viking Vela. Float out, a cool part of the shipbuilding process. Up until the point of float out, these vessels are built on dry land. They're built in a dry dock. They're built where eventually water can flood where they're working, and then we can see if at the very minimum these ships leak or, they can sit on water. And so that's exciting. The world fleet, which I think is well over 300 cruise ships if you add all of the cruise companies together, it's increasing by 2. How about that? Whew, I don't know what my heart rate is right now, but it feels like it's going a mile a minute. Let's talk about spoiler alert. I appreciate everybody showing me some love for the outrage. I mean, really, it's fake outrage, but I think it's fun, right? Isn't it fun to be ranty every once in a while? Maybe that'll be a new segment. Tony's fake outrage. And what I really liked was everybody's engagement in the comments yesterday. A lot of people were like, oh, next you're going to tell me at the end of Jaws, the shark dies. Or, oh, next you're going to tell me that, you know, at the end of Titanic sinks. There were some great spoilers, but I wanted to highlight this because these comments happened so close together. A movie that I didn't think anybody would reference yesterday was referenced by two separate commenters within a few minutes of each other. Gone with the Wind. Somebody referenced Rhett Butler, and I was like, Brett Butler, the comedian from Grace Under Fire. Oh, Rhett Butler, Gone with the Wind. And then just below it, somebody else had also referenced Gone with the Wind. And to them, I say, frankly, my dear, I don't give a hoot, because I'm Woodsy the Owl. Thanks for playing along. And sometimes it feels good to get a little rante. All right, I got to tell you about the philanthropic efforts of Carnival Cruise Line. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with everything going on in cruising. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. And that way your parents will be proud of you. Or you'll be in the cool kids club, or let's just chalk it up to peer pressure. Everybody's subscribing. Actually, it's actually helpful to me and you. You get notified when the show comes out, and I get another tick box on the vanity metric of subscribers, which doesn't really mean anything, but I still like it when people subscribe. So if you could do that. Solid. All right, Carnival Cruise Line's philanthropic efforts involves tons of supplies going to 2 ports in Mexico. We're talking school supplies, we're talking health supplies, we're talking recreational supplies, and we're talking 13,000 pounds of these supplies. That's well over 6 tons. We're used to Carnival Cruise Line being philanthropic, charitable. We know about the St. Jude thing that they do on all of their cruise ships. It's an interesting dance. Some people would probably say, oh, they're just doing that for the publicity. Well, good. I wish every big company would do charity for publicity, because publicity aside, that means the charity is happening. I'm going to give Carnival a kudos for this. Way to go, giving back to a couple cruise ports that you go to. Carnival Valor is the one that's delivering these supplies. There you go. Now, I know I said the show would probably come out at 9:15 today, but well, as things happened, it did not. I got a new computer, and I recorded the show once, and it was not with a microphone, and so it would have just been like a silent film. It would have just, imagine this. Could you imagine the show with no audio? It would just be a lot like this. And I think some of you guys would get exactly what I was saying, but it's probably better with the audio. Maybe some would think it's not better with the audio. Okay. The world's next largest cruise ship is Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, hitting the seas very soon, January 2024. It will be homeported in Miami, but we don't care about that, because in 2025, there's going to be another world's largest cruise ship. So the next world's largest cruise ship, the Star of the Seas. The Star of the Seas. They've announced where their home port's going to be, and this could be a shocker. It's going to be the world's busiest cruise port, Port Canaveral. So we're talking the world's biggest cruise ship in the world's busiest cruise port in 2025, just 2 hours from my house. Maybe the biggest cruise tuber out there, and I'm talking about size. I'm fat. Maybe the world's biggest YouTuber out there will possibly get on this. I don't know. It's hard to get on these new ships for me, but yeah, there you go. Did you expect it to be PC? You probably did. Boom, that's your cruise news. I hope you feel that tingling feeling in your face now that the show is over. Hit the like button if you could. This is Tony for Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise news, cruise news, cruise news, it's over.